There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 84 of SYFY Talk on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss shows on the SYFY channel. I'm Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve, and tonight we'll be discussing episode 4 of season 2 of Wynonna Earp.
Oh my god! Wynonna Earp.
That's an understatement.
These are crazy episodes. I know I say that about a lot of stuff, but seriously, it's getting so up there. And it's okay, more. And it's crazy when I'm tweeting it, and it's I don't even realize that it's been the hour.
Right.
So that's a huge sign. Now, obviously, I say tweeting it, and I'm hoping you guys are following us and following them on Twitter. And you might have noticed that there was a huge push on Twitter for them to tag them and to watch them on, even if it's the rebroadcast or on whatever station you have, either on SYFY or I think Space in Canada.
Right.
Because it seems like they were having some problems following the numbers. And it had some of the members of the crew, not the cast as much, but some of the members of the crew, the production crew, worried that may be a problem for another season.
Right.
So make sure you guys are definitely doing, if you're watching it on your computer or tablet, just put something out there like watching Wynonna Earp, on Twitter, so that way they see that people are following it either way.
Right. And tie your Facebook account to your Twitter so it shows up in both places, because from everything that I've seen from the Nielsen social media ratings, there's more interaction. Well, I won't say interaction. There's more unique social media items coming from Facebook than there is Twitter. So we need to start tying our Twitter feeds to our Facebook feed so we can double dip on both of them.
Yes. Very important, guys, especially if you're a fan. We definitely want another season because this is only episode 4, and I'm like, holy crap.
Yes.
What they can come up with. All right, if they've had, 13 seasons of Supernatural, which I love the guys, so they can totally have more seasons of Wynonna Earp.
Yes.
Craziness abounds. Now, speaking of Nielsen, Steve has ratings news.
All right, episode 4. Brought in a 0.13 in adults 18 to 49 with 0.581 million viewers. It dropped to 69th overall cable show. So we need to get those numbers up.
Definitely.
Now our live plus 7 days of episode 2, we tied for second in adults 18 to 49 percentage gain, going from a 0.1 to a 0.3 for an increase of 200%.
Well, that's good.
Yes, that definitely is good.
Yes. All right. So, episode 4, She Ain't Right. I just love that title. Wynonna and Doc struggle to cure an ailing doll. Waverly goes on her first solo mission for Black Badge, and Wynonna gets more than she bargained for when she tries to free Waverly from demonic possession. Dun, dun, dun!
That was a massive understatement.
Yes, this was one of those that I think I got mad more often than not.
Right.
Mostly because of Stupid Licado. So it's going to be hashtag Stupid Licado, in case you didn't notice.
I'm all for it.
I do believe I had that on there once or twice or 10 times.
Yes, I believe you did.
Okay, so we actually get dolls.
He's back.
After writhing on the barn floor and seeing Waverly get all weird, we actually see him, so I think this is good. Wynonna finds his dog tags in Waverly's jacket and then ends up, I don't know how she connected it to find him on the barn floor, but she does.
Right. Well, he had to be close by if Waverly had anything to do with him.
That's true. But I think Wynonna was a little surprised that he was actually on the homestead this whole time, or at least
Right.
extended period of time.
Yes.
And Dolls was kind of not Dolls when Wynonna finds him.
Not at all.
Yes, he was whatever the weird demon lizardy thing is. He wasn't physically there, but he sure as heck did not recognize her. And then he managed to fight it enough to be like, Wynonna, run. And she's like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
And knocks him out. Which, okay, like normally I don't feel like Wynonna could take Dolls. I feel like it's because he was kind of weakened and in the in-between. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way that if it was just regular Dolls, she could do that. And fortunately, he wasn't full-blown whatever he is.
Yeah. Okay, you have a note here, which I must have completely missed, that Dolls passes on a message to Doc from Juan Carlos. I don't know how I missed that.
It was right after he first got there and they had him laying down before they locked him up.
Okay. Okay, so Juan Carlos, we never seen him on screen.
No, we did not see Juan Carlos.
That's why I was thinking that we seen him talk to Dolls somehow. I'm like, wait, did I miss that?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, Wynonna manages to bring Dolls to Doc, which is interesting because why does she know to take him to Doc? Because she didn't know. Oh, no, that's right. Doc did tell her what he was doing.
Right.
I had a brain fart.
You're
Sorry, guys.
Serum.
Wah, wah. Well, I feel like we have to go back and forth here between Dolls and Doc and Rosita. And, oh my gosh, Jeremy gets involved.
Yes.
So, Wynonna, she brings Dolls to Doc, and they have him downstairs. They kind of strap him down, and I love he's like, you have to make it really tight. And why does Doc kind of give him a look? You know, like, okay, weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to know what you're into personally. He's like, just do it.
Yeah.
And you have Rosita, who is trying to make these crazy serum that she really has no idea. I mean, she's doing the best she can, but not necessarily knowing what she's doing could be totally dangerous. So I love it because Wynonna and Rosita kind of get into it, you know, again, because I feel like they just always want to insult each other.
Yes.
Which I think is kind of funny.
There is definitely, shall we say, cat fight brewing with those two.
Yes, it feels like very much like jealousy underlying.
Right.
But
right, yes, they are extremely jealous of each other.
I don't understand that exactly. I mean, I could see Wynonna because Doc was into her, then kind of rejected her, but Rosita and Doc aren't a thing. But do you think it's just because Rosita is kind of like making Wynonna think it's a thing?
Well, you have to remember that you got Jeremy.
Yes.
Who's this geek, lab geek, and he wears the lab coat and all that. Rosita is not that way.
Oh, that's true.
She wears the most revealing clothes she can wear while she's working with chemicals.
Yeah, I can see that because, yeah, doesn't she say something about that too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wynonna makes a comment about her clothing.
And yet, because of clothing, that's how Jeremy gets involved. Because he smells something on Wynonna's clothing.
Right.
And it was weird because he's like, take it off, take it off, take it off. So I think it was her jacket. And then, like, all of a sudden it burst into flames. And I love it because Wynonna's like, oh my God, you can start fires with your mind.
Yeah.
I thought that too, actually. When it happened, I'm like, holy crap, he's like fire starter.
Right.
And it was like the mix of chemicals. And he's like, no. Aw, I thought he had a cool superpower.
Yeah.
But that's what gets Jeremy on board. He's like, oh no, you're missing this. And so Wynonna drags him down. And I think Jeremy's just super excited because he's like, yay, I'm part of the Scooby Gang.
Right.
Because he just fanboys so much over Doc and Dolls. And it's like, yes, I'm part of this. I'm helping. And it's just funny. And it's funny, haha. Not funny, strange. But funny that Jeremy is like such an outsider, but he has so much knowledge, but the gang doesn't trust him yet.
Right.
I'm kind of sad about that, but because he's so geeky and he's just like, I want to be involved. Yay. Like, I feel bad for him because they do try to treat him like such an outsider.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to change?
I believe it will.
Even after this, because even with him helping, because, he stops them from injecting dolls with everything. They're like, no. You have to do it in small amounts because he's been off it for so long. Otherwise, it'll be bad. Well, he goes upstairs and whatever happens, all of a sudden Dolls wakes up and Rosita's like, oh yeah, I can't do this. I have to wait for Doc. And Dolls is like, yeah, I have other plans. Only he said that in growling and like crazy eyes.
Yes.
Snatches it, injects the whole thing, and Rosita's like, all right, I'm out. She runs up the stairs. And this is when we do have them kind of bond a little more, which we'll get back to, but you have Rosita and Doc and Jeremy hiding behind the bar. I'm laughing because it was very much like a Stooges moment, because it was like, what is that? Like each of them said something and they kind of like ducked down slowly, looking just barely over the bar, which I thought was just funny. I'm like, this is so stupid and funny. I loved it.
Whack-a-mole.
Right. And this is kind of when I feel like Jeremy was part of it. But I felt a little bit bad because I just skipped over this part. I'm sorry, let me back up. Rosita is like kind of hitting on Jeremy, but Jeremy keeps backing up. And I wasn't 100% sure if he was like what he said, if it's because she is a girl, he didn't want any part of it, or if it's because she's like, and this is in quotes, out of his league, or what the deal was, because he seemed really nervous.
Yes, he did.
But then she's just like, I just wanted you to go get coffee. He's like, oh, okay. You probably could have asked him, and he's very happy puppy-ish. I'm just like, oh, go get coffee, da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. And he bounces off to go get coffee. But why is it every time you send somebody for a kind of menial task, something bad is going to happen?
Right, especially in Wynonna Earp.
Right? It's like, I just never feel good about that. But before we get into that, because that's more towards the end, let's back it up a little. And why don't you talk about hashtag stupid Locato and waves?
All right. Well, of course, we get this opening that absolutely doesn't make any kind of sense at all.
Right?
Because we have this guy with a briefcase handcuffed to his arm, and these two people come up and basically haul him off and want the case. He doesn't know the combination, so the guy just chops his hand off and takes the case.
Yeah, that's not weird.
No, not at all.
Yeah, totally normal.
Not in purgatory.
Well, that's true.
So, of course, Lucudo finds out about it and reports that there's been a BBD briefcase that has been stolen. And she is basically obsessed with trying to get the hello out of purgatory.
Ugh. She's just all about her.
Yes. All about her wanting to, how did Doc put it, snuggled up to the boss's butt or something like that. I'm sure it was more colorful than that. So, of course, at first she wants Wynonna to investigate. And Wynonna's tells her, no, she's too busy with trying to figure out what's going on with the demons.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense.
Yes, it does. And Waverly pops up and volunteers, which immediately Wynonna says no. Lucado agrees.
Yeah, that kind of, it's like, if that's happening, I'm worried.
Yes.
She's like, oh, yeah. No, don't worry. We have backup. We'll have all sorts of good stuff. It's like, will you?
Yes.
I don't trust you.
Yeah, and it's only supposed to be a surveillance mission.
Yeah, again, I don't trust you.
No, not at all. So Waverly gets sent to the Bading Bading nightclub.
I didn't notice that was the name. I'm sorry. It's kind of just the way you said it too. It's kind of funnier. I'm sorry.
And of course she gets in and they think she's the talent.
And can I say she's got some pipe?
Yeah.
I was impressed. She can
Absolutely.
sing, she can dance. After all, this is France. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. So was that really her singing?
I believe so. I haven't seen anything that says it wasn't.
I was like, everything I seen, I was like 99% sure they said that was actually her. So that's why I was just seeing if you heard anything different.
Nope.
I was impressed.
That was all Dominique. Once again.
So impressive.
Yes. Well, of course, Wynonna is not one to leave her sister on any kind of mission by herself, and she happens to find Lucado outside and asks about where's the backup.
Oh, yes. And Lucado.
Oh, there isn't any.
Yeah, I was...
Say hello to my little fist.
Right. Oh, man, because she's like, no, this was going to get me in. This was it. What? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Not happy. Not happy.
No. And her face meets Wynonna's fist.
Good. She deserved it.
Yes, she did.
I think a lot of people were pretty ticked off with this moment because I wasn't the only one like, what the hell?
Right. You got Waverly on her very first mission and with no real backup at all.
Right. You totally lied about it.
Yes.
Like Wynonna wasn't going to find out.
Yeah.
You should have been real afraid.
So, of course, Wynonna goes blasting in there, and they both end up being caught.
Can I just say the code words, though? Tacos are tasty. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I was just kind of laughing because I'm like, I want tacos now. Because tacos are tasty. But yeah, it was just funny. She kept saying, I'm like, dude, your backup's here. It's Wynonna. But tacos are tasty. Tacos are tasty.
Yeah, she expected a larger contingent
That's
to
true.
come in and rescue them. Now, of course, while they're tied up, Jackson is trying to get them to give them the combination to the case. They have no clue. It's engraved with EE, which we later find out is a previous version of the Earp.
Yeah, it was the
Ernest.
1 year Earp, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And of course they try to call Doc.
I'm just going to say, with as many phones that shatter when they hit the ground,
Right.
pretty impressive that they are trying to do it, and Dominique's trying to hit it with her heel
Yes.
of her very high-heeled shoe. And then when she does the voice command, well, it was something completely off the wall that came. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, that was too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of it would have been like, crack, crack. There goes my phone.
Yes, absolutely. And Jackson has had enough of this. He puts Waverly on the table, and we get our first holy WTF moment.
Yes.
The guy cuts off Waverly's hand.
I was freaking out.
Oh, everybody was freaking out.
Although right here is when I expected whatever was inside of her to show itself.
Right.
But nothing happened, and I was really surprised.
No. Yes. And fortunately, Doc finally arrives and provides enough of a distraction to allow the sisters to escape. He dispatches Jackson with the knife to the back.
And more importantly,
all of a sudden, Waverly has a hand again.
Oh, actually, that wasn't the more importantly part.
Oh, okay. What was the more importantly part for you?
He gets a hat back.
Right, yes. Yes, the hat is back.
Come on. You know, he was like, oh, thank you. I don't mind if I do. But yeah. So I was like, okay, wait, did he somehow fake it? But then we see her hand on the ground.
Right.
So I was really confused.
Yes, absolutely.
So was Wynonna, so.
Yes.
So, so I'm still confused with it. So it's whatever's inside her is like regenerating part?
Yep.
It's creepy.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. I don't know what to say with that because it was weird. Because I really did think that maybe it was like somehow like the fake thing. Like maybe it was the other hand and like he wrapped her hand in a bloody towel. But I swear that Wynonna had seen the hand, not just the bloody.
Yes, the
thing.
bloody stump. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was something that I think was truly confusing for everyone because then Dominique doesn't even remember what happened.
Right.
And I'm like, how does she not even remember this? Because I swear they showed her face and it didn't look like she had black eyes when it happened.
No.
So again, confusing.
Yes, very. All right. Shall we move on to the sisters?
Oh my God. This was just like a weird moment because obviously it didn't have anything to do with this episode, but you know that this means a whole lot of shit's going to go down.
Right.
So the weird, faceless, like dressy demons that we thought might have killed Mercedes
right.
took over Mercedes and her sister Beth. And
well, I'm not sure they took over. They took their
face. Yes, because we actually see them because they're talking to Tucker. And okay, this was of course after the one was eating a ton of bacon, which was weird.
Right.
And you see the girls and they're like kind of like yelling and struggling because they're tied up and they don't have a face. And it's weird because it's not like they were just skinned. There's just like nothing. Like it's totally blank and kind of bloodied, but it was weird looking. I can't explain it. If you haven't watched it,
right.
I don't know how you didn't see it, but whatever. But it was weird. And they're like talking to Tucker. They're like, you have darkness in you. We just so want you to be part of this and you should join us. And he's like, whatever you want. And he's like, I want a girl. Like,
yeah.
Good job there, Tucker. I'm guessing you want Miss Waverly and you're going to be all creepy about it. So it was just strange seeing them laying there. And it's like, I don't know what this means.
Right. Yeah, it's not good. That's for sure.
No, that's true.
It definitely looks like that Tucker will get what he wants because of what Mercedes and Beth can do now.
Mm-hmm.
And more than likely that will have something to do with one of the Earps, more than likely Waverly, I would think. And so, yeah, we got to worry about Waverly some more, even though we got enough to worry about with Waverly.
Right? It's like, quit putting Waverly in this weird positions.
Right.
I don't know. Tucker just creeps me out.
Yes, he does.
So,
and there's no telling what they will do to him either once he agrees to join them.
I don't think anything's going to happen to him. And let me explain that. Because he's so weird and probably is super creepy. Like, I feel like he is undercover psycho. So, like, the fact that his new sisters, I'm going to put it that way, are going to let him do, like, almost anything he wants, I think it's just going to be really bad, and they're not going to stop him. Like, they're going to use him to have more demons come somehow.
Right.
So it just kind of grosses me out. But I don't want to talk. He's creepy. We're going to go past him. And before we get to the ultimate finale, let's go to Miss Wynonna and Waves.
Oh, right. Of course, after the insanity with the BBD agent losing his hand over the briefcase, we find Waverly outside in the morning in her PJs. And Wynonna finds her there and starts to get concerned because Waverly admits to having some memory loss.
Yeah, that's concerning all around.
Yes. And a little later on, she gets Waverly back inside and Wynonna goes to see Nicole and definitely admits to her that, yeah, you're right. There is something wrong with Waverly, which at least should give Nicole some warm fuzzies, even though it's not a good thing, but at least somebody else thinks something's up besides her. And of course, at the club, while they're tied up, Waverly admits to touching the black goo.
Not a good thing necessarily, dear.
No. So now we know, Wynonna knows what possibly could be going on.
Right.
Now, of course, when they do get away and are able to open the case, they find it's a decorative plate.
Yeah, that seems kind of weird. Just random plate just hanging out there.
Yeah.
Like
in a very secured briefcase.
Right.
Yeah.
But apparently this plate is something that these other people want desperately because they don't know what it is.
Right.
And
or they do know what it is and they want it because of what it can or can't do.
Ah. See, I didn't think about that.
Right.
And a random guy who was cutting off hands. Now, I don't know if he is a demon or if he's like dolls first, because he had people with him that were like...
Yeah, Cujo seemed like it was... she was more of a dog than anything else.
Yeah, it was weird. But this is what I was talking about. Like, we think he's dead because he was stabbed. Well, no, he shows up right when poor Jeremy comes back into Shorty's with coffee. The man shows up and he has his weird, like, bony knife that's shooting out of his hand to poor Jeremy's neck.
Right.
Well, this is, of course, after Dolls has taken all the serum. He gets Wynonna to put down the gun. He gets Doc to put down the gun. And what's happening? Well, Dolls comes, like, tearing out of the basement.
Right.
with like crazy eyes and really weird forehead. I can't explain it. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about because obviously you've watched it.
Right. It was
like lava
like
forehead.
It wanted to come apart.
Yes, it was creeping me out. And he ends up like breathing fire. So is he like a dragon? What is this?
That's what I was thinking.
He like breathes fire on the guy, but it doesn't kill him. Not really. Kind of burns him.
No, it just fries his face.
Right. And this is the part where, you had the three of them behind the bar like, what the hell? It was just funny. And then, our guy on the floor, he's like, something's coming. Something's big. You just don't know.
Right.
And then he's like, ugh, he's done. And Dolls is Dolls then all of a sudden because he's like, can I have some water? Yeah. Okay, I guess here. And then, but Doc brings him like alcohol. It's like, fire, alcohol doesn't go together. That would be bad. But I just thought it was funny. It was really kind of a funny moment. And then Jeremy gets to see more of what's happening, even though I feel like he's not quite there with the group, but kind of is. What do you think?
Not quite yet, I don't think. Yes, he helped with the serum that got Dolls back, and he's good for some tech stuff, but until he really gets his hands completely dirty, I don't think we're going to see a total acceptance into the gang.
Now, I do think a little different is Dolls is back, that it might change the dynamic because Dolls knows Jeremy.
Right.
So maybe now that he's here, they'll be like, no, he's done blah, 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 blah for us. And, then it might be like, oh, well, we didn't know that. Okay.
Right.
But I think it's still going to be a little bit of, arm's length, at least for another couple episodes, I would think.
Right. Until we handle the goo that seems to not really like Waverly a whole lot. She's not quite as fun.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens because we don't really know a whole lot yet.
No,
she
really
touched
don't.
it, and it's like she's Waverly. She's what were they calling her on Twitter? Goo Waverly.
Yeah, Goverly.
Goverly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that next episode. I'm assuming they're gonna bring this up quickly. It's not gonna go on for the whole season, I wouldn't think.
No, because at the end of the episode, we have Wynonna and Waverly together, and Waverly comes up and plants one on Wynonna, and you see the goo passing into her.
That's true. But I mean, I assume we're going to have to, do something with this. It can't just be like, oh, by the way, now it's Wynonna being a person. And She couldn't hold Peacemaker.
No.
It burned her hand. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So then I'm freaking out because then I was thinking, okay, does that mean Wave's going to pick it up and be all like, I'm the heir? But because of the doubt she's already having, what could that mean?
Right.
There's so much happening. I can't keep up.
Yes, there is. I mean, this was one of them wild episodes.
It was. It was crazy, and I really liked it. And
yes.
I still kind of wonder where our bad guy came from. If he maybe was once part of Black Badge. I mean, I don't know.
Right.
Interesting to see. I guess we'll find out soon enough. I would think we're going to find something out. But, they like to screw with us sometimes. So.
Right. And then we'll move on to Mercedes, Beth, and Tucker and whatever that demon is.
Or demons.
Yeah. Multiple.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was a crazy wild ride, and we hope you guys think so, too. So, obviously, if you're listening to us, you're wanting to know more about the show, and we want to know what you think about the show. So make sure you shoot us emails or tweets or hit us up on Facebook. Steve and I are always watching. That sounds creepy. Okay, we're always reading our messages. All right, and of course, rate and review us on every platform you find us on because good ratings help other fans of the show find us. You're probably listening to us on iTunes, or if you're on your smartphone, you might be listening to us through Podcaster or the different apps. We are on Podbean. I don't even remember everywhere we are. We're everywhere.
Spreaker, Google Play.
It's a lot.
All over the place.
So just rate and review us. I know, that sounds creepy too. Oh my God. We're like the Black Badge. We know things and we're everywhere. That's scary. We didn't even have to sign a contract.
In blood.
Alright, so for this episode of Fangirl Earp, I am Sean Fangirl S.
And I'm Steve. You short-circuiting BB-8?
Until next time.